All right, team, what's going on? I'm Tim Jenkins, and welcome to All Things QB. And today we are checking in on Deshaun Watson and his Week 2 performance on Monday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we're going to talk about what the heck is going on with Deshaun Watson and this Cleveland Browns offense. But before we jump into it, you football junkies, jump over to Patreon, okay? We've got Patreon. We've got free trials so you can try it before you buy it. Plus, it's a super affordable way to support the channel so we can up our production value and all that kind of jazz. Guys, I also want you to know I'm a huge FTA guy, which means comment for the algorithm. Please like this video, and then also hopefully by the end of this video, I will earn a subscription from y'all on YouTube. So guys, I'm excited about this one. I think there's a lot of good. I think there's a lot of frustration. I think there's a lot of bad. It's going to be a fun breakdown. So without further ado, let's jump into the film. All right, team, we are jumping into it, and we have a less than ideal start for the Cleveland Browns here. Okay, they're just running a super simple like hit concept, right? Where you have the hitch outside, you got the stick inside. Read this thing outside or inside out, outside in, whatever you want based on kind of what you're feeling coverage wise, right? You've got an off corner, you feel like you got a matchup, whatever it is that you want to take as a quarterback, you're kind of free to take on this play. Deshaun does a really good job of getting to his stick concept, right? Gets to his stick concept, ball's on him. We could say, hey, ball's a little outside his frame, right? However, if you're an NFL tight end, you got to make this play. And what can't happen, what's absolutely less than ideal, is this. You get the ball doinking around, then 56 picks, it takes it back to the house. Terrible start, right? Terrible start. Something interesting here when you watch Deshaun's footwork is how clean his 1-2 ball is compared to some of these other guys that have been playing with their right foot back. 1-2 shot. Ball bounces around. 56 takes it to the house. Okay, we got another no grade. So that's a no grade, right? Where it's like, hey, it's not bad. Hey, could the ball have been in the frame? Absolutely, right? Overall, is it a bad play on the quarterback? No, it's not. This is a frustrating play because we've got the ultra high with the deep over, right? Read this thing top down, 1-2. I want you guys to watch Amari Cooper and how open he gets on this play. I think that's Cooper. I don't know for sure, though. It's like we are running wide open. Great design. However, we get too compromised in the pocket. I also would say that I think Deshaun could step up and anchor. Okay? I want to say that where I think there's a world in which he could climb this pocket and anchor instead of deciding to run right away. With that being said, part of his game being great is when he creates, right? When he gets out of the pocket and creates. It's just one of those things where that's how it is, right? Where it's like when you see the deep over running wide open, you say to yourself, man, I wish he would have anchored in the pocket. If the deep over was covered there, what would we been saying? We'd be saying, hey, great job creating something, right? So it's like, it's the catch-22 of when you break these things down where you sit there and you go, man, I wish I would have seen us climb in the pocket. The moral of the story for me is I wish the eyes didn't, hey, we feel this pressure. It's a great job feeling the pressure. I wish the eyes didn't immediately go down. I wish there was a little bit of climb with our eyes downfield. Simultaneously, I think when you have a quarterback who can create outside the pocket, it's part of what you have to accept with their game is that there are going to be times where our eyes are going to go down and we're going to go make a play. Okay, this is a bad. We've got a bad here. We're late and behind. Okay, we've got this little sail route here. Okay, you can read this thing top down. You read it sail down to this option route. Okay, I think taking this out route, this sail route, whatever you want to call it, that they had it, I think taking that is the right decision. I think we're a click late, to be honest. I think that little hitch makes us a click late. I think it needs to be plant, ball out. And then I also think we are just a foot maybe behind him, where it's back shoulder bodied up instead of front shoulder. You see this little stutter from the receiver, right? Where he's anchoring down his speed. we're just a touch behind, which then makes it to where the DB can make a play on the ball. So I agree with the overall decision-making process. I agree with, hey, we got to the right spot. It's just we either need to throw this thing off the plant, right? We either need to throw this thing off of, whatever his footwork is here, 1, 2, 3 plant, right? Where after he takes that little gather step, 1, 2, 3. I think we either need to throw it on the plant, or if we're going to take the hitch, we definitely have to be further outside. Because the difference between being back shoulder pad and front shoulder pad here is the difference between this guy making a play on the ball and us completing a tight completion for a first down. This one, we got another miss. We've got a miss outside. We're going to try to drive it to this guy. We've got a little double marker concept here where both these guys are going to kind of work vertical and come right back down their stem. Here's what I'm going to say. There's a world in which this guy is supposed to be dropping out, meaning he's supposed to pivot and work out. If he's supposed to pivot and work out, this is a good football by Deshaun Watson. However, to me, this looks a lot more like a 9-stop where he's working right back down his stem and Deshaun rips it out of bounds. So, knowing that I do not know their playbook, I'm going to say it looks like a 9-stop. However, if it looks like a 9-stop or really based on Deshaun's footwork, probably a Harvey route. If it's not, if it's a true dropout instead of a Harvey, good football. If it's a Harvey route, we missed outside. It's a bad football. So that's what I'm going to say about that play. Right here, we've got a great back shoulder. Okay, we got to the top of your screen, we've got the go route. We've got press man coverage. Our defender does a good job of playing the top shoulder, which means Deshaun's going to back shoulder this thing, and he does a really good job being aggressive with this football, hunting with the football. Boom. Really good pitch and catch. Really good pitch and catch. Yep, that's great stuff. Looks like potentially PI too. This one is one of those where you see the quarterback reverse out, he fakes, and then he continues on, and we try to hit this flat route, right? This play is dead in the water. And Deshaun does a good job of making something out of nothing. Where you're going to see him create here, boom, the stiff arm, and then deliver it. Okay, we got to hold on to that football. It's a really good job by our quarterback making this play right? Where you sit there and you go, this play's dead in the water, not great, and we're going to go ahead and we made the play right. This I've got no grade, but I want to watch it because it's just interesting. We're just running straight up lead option here, right? Straight up lead option on 4th down. Deshaun doesn't want to pitch it, right? It's probably a good read, and then he just says, okay, I'm going to get vertical and try to make something happen, and he does it, gets the first down. I do think there's something to be said about, hey, when you've got an athletic quarterback, sprinkling in some of these looks that pro teams aren't used to seeing, like a speed option. There's a world in which that play pops for a huge gain because they're too condensed. Obviously didn't happen there, but this is just a good ball, right? We've got just a simple slant. 1, 2, 3 on the receiver's part. 3-step slant from the receiver. QB 1-2 ball. That's all it is. We call these a punch one, right? Where you're going to see him punch that left foot first. Punch one, ball. Good ball, good pitch and catch. Okay. Sometimes Huddle does this lately where it starts in the middle of a clip for no reason. Okay, we've got this marked as a good. We got scramble TD, but why? Here's why I'm saying that. Look, we got our receiver lineup is a back. We're running the arrow. We got the stick here. To me, ball needs to go the arrow, right? Put it on the front shoulder. Let him go beat this guy. Deshaun hesitates, holds on to the football, and then gets in a scramble drill. At this point, he now makes this play successful, right? Easy pitch and catch for a touchdown. I guess I'd like to know why we're passing up that arrow. I think you could say like, hey, it looks like this guy's kind of getting ready to make a play on it. You could definitely say that. But I just love, for quarterbacks, you always want to know, okay, hey, why'd you pass that up? And then if the answer is like, hey, man, I felt like that corner was jumping it, awesome. But I think it's something you don't really want to see in the red zone. It's like when we're in the red zone, we want to play fast, right? We want to get the ball out of our paw. This is another frustrating, right? It's frustrating where we have this deep over again wide open. Okay, another one of those where you're going to read the post down to here. This is more of an alert. Okay, versus post safety man-to-man. You can alert that. But we're just running jalapeno. Great concept. Bring the deep over all the way across. It's like, it's frustrating, right? Because you see how open some of these concepts are, and we're just not holding up. Deshaun does a good job stepping up in the pocket, re-anchoring. Yep. It's just, sorry about the yawn. It's frustrating when you scheme stuff up. You got guys wide open. And then we're just, getting the ball batted down. I've got this marked as tipped with a question mark because if this isn't tipped, this is a god-awful football. All right, team, I hope you enjoyed those 10 clips. What you just saw was a little glimpse of clip 11 because we have 16 total clips in this breakdown, but it's over on Patreon. And again, guys, there are free trials, so you can try it before you buy. And again, it means the world to me that you guys are willing to support this channel, but I don't want you guys to have to subscribe to get the answer to the question, which is, what the heck is going on with this Cleveland Browns offense? I think at the beginning of the day, you've got to really say, like, listen, up front, we are not doing a great job protecting, right? However, there are plays to be made. I think Deshaun's got to get the ball out of his hand quicker in certain situations. There are guys running open where, hey, we've got to cut it free and throw it and then know when to create versus our eyes going straight into create mode if our first progression is not there. That's what I would say the two big issues I see. Obviously, there's going to be more, right? You've got to have a good run game, especially with the unfortunate news with Nick Chubb going down. You've got to figure out, hey, how are we going to run the ball effectively? But to me, we've got to protect up front. And as a quarterback, we've got to know in certain situations, just get the ball out of our hand. We move on. In other situations, use your creativity. But the Browns offense hasn't looked great through the first 2 weeks of the season. Guys, if you want to see more Cleveland Browns breakdowns, comment below. Let me know that so I know and I can try to work it into the weekly rotation. And until next time, peace.